Challenge round presented by Mitsubishi. This is the second of our Sunday doubleheader. The Sydney Kings, they're getting into the Christmas spirit. They've been on the road for over a month, but they are back on their home court today, ready to take on the in-form Brisbane Bullets, who have put the league on notice in recent weeks. They've moved up the Mitsubishi Motors ladder. They are in 5th at the moment, ready to take on the Kings in 3rd, 9-7 on the season. Great to be with you alongside former Kings captain Brad Rose and a former league MVP Derek Rucker. I am Joe Healy. Guys, not too long ago we would have probably given this one to the Kings off the bat, but the Bullets, they are coming in form. What are you expecting?
Super excited, Joe. Who would have thought? What a great game this is going to be. 3rd versus 5th. Cannot wait for this one.
Well, the Brisbane Bullets are hot. They're shooting the ball exceptionally well, leading the league in three-point shooting. They've got a big scalp just last Sunday at Melbourne United on the road. They're coming in full of confidence.
What about the Kings, guys? They've been on the road for much of this season, but they'll be predominantly sleeping in their own beds for the next 5 rounds. How much of an opportunity is that for them?
It's brilliant. You just saw Brian Goorjian there. They've only had 5 home games. They've got so many more to go. They get a great run. Gorge has mentioned so many times how he wants to get in the training paddock. He's had it, Derek, no more excuses. They're now going to get the wins at home.
And that's true, and right now is a period where you really want to excel, not mess around, and the Brisbane Bullets, they know the Sydney Kings are vulnerable. Look at that schedule for the Kings coming up. Brad, I think it's a chance for them to win at least 4 of those 5 games.
Yep. I want to ask about their MVP, Jalen Adams. He's had 20 points in 4 of their last 5 games. Why is he so important to this group?
He's the head of the snake, the ball in his hands so many times. You look at his points and assists, but when he's coming off on balls, when he makes great decisions, it's great for the Sydney Kings. When he plays well, they usually win. He'll come off it, he'll pass it, hit to the wide open man. So it's not necessarily his pass, it can be the next one after that.
Well, it's an interesting balance they must find. They don't want Jalen pounding the ball early in possessions, early in the game. He's got to look to give it up, kick it out, get it back, and then make plays. And we know what he can do in transition. He's a much better three-point shooter than people believe.
We mentioned it off the top, guys. The Bullets, they've won 3 in a row. They are in form. They are playing inspired basketball at the moment. But it's a collective effort from that group, isn't it?
It is. I love the way they're playing. And what I love is they're not looking for good shots. They're looking for great shots. Everyone is doing what they need to do. But Derek, how good is it to see Casey Prather doing what he's doing?
Well, Casey and the 2 other imports, Keandre Cook and James Bateman, have found their rhythm. But the guy that makes them unique, the one that really provides the core foundation for this Bullets team, is Tyrell Harrison, the 7-footer, the Kiwi, the left-hander. He gets it done. He's been averaging 24 points a game over the last 2. One of the best rebounders in the competition. We know the Kings are short, Brad. They don't rebound the ball well. If they want to have any chance today against this Brisbane team, they've got to do a number on Tyrell Harrison.
Very quickly, guys, what's your tip for this one?
Sydney at home.
Wow, be more of a homer. I think Brisbane in an upset.
Not too far away from the tip in this one. We're here at Kudos Bank Arena. It is a pleasure to welcome in the 4th member of our broadcast team. Matty Russell, it's over to you.
Thank you, Joe. Doesn't it seem like an eternity since we were last here? November 8 against Southeast Melbourne, as you mentioned, more than a month ago. Brian Goorjian and the Kings back home in front of more than 11,000 people with this starting 5, which will create plenty of talking points, considering it means Jalen Adams and Cam Oliver come off the bench again. As for Brisbane, they are settled in terms of the starting 5 because of this 3-game winning streak. Plenty of points in Cook, Bateman, Prather and Harrison. The Brisbane Bullets, they've fought hard to get back to 7-7. They sit 5th. Sydney, despite so much time on the road, in positive territory at 9-7. They sit 3rd. But there can be plenty of ladder movement depending on this game. If Brisbane win, they go 4th, bumping Perth to 3rd and sending Sydney slipping to 5th. So it's very tight mid-season in the NBL and nothing will change as we race towards the postseason. It's great to have you with us for the 2nd leg of this Sunday doubleheader. The Kings are back home and looking for a big second half of the season. The Bullets want another 100 points plus and a 4th straight win. Some early pressure defensively from the visitors. Bruce for Alex Toohey, guarded by Bateman, but not denied by Bateman. So the first possession for Sydney is bountiful.
A good start there by Alex Toohey, and if that's going to be a matchup, Brisbane will have to give Bateman help because Toohey's just too long and too talented.
Cook, one of these form imports. Cook, Bateman and Prather giving Brisbane so much. And the defence of the Sydney Kings forces the turnover. Liafa spotting Toohey, but he couldn't pull it in. And Derek, I'll come straight to you. This starting five by Sydney, I invite you and Brad to have a say. You first.
Well, last week we heard that Adams and Oliver were unwell, and I'm not sure if Brian Goorjian has decided to stick with this lineup due to the fact that they won their last game in New Zealand. But Brad, I need to get my horses out there. I want Adams and Oliver in the starting lineup as Liafa gets a steal.
Sean Bruce, straight down the lane, kicking it out for Kelly Leao-Pepe. His three-point shot off the mark.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you, Derek. I said in the pre-game, they're the head of the snake, and that's what they need to get Jalen Adams out there. But look, I'd be shocked if they're not in the first 2 or 3 minutes.
Casey Prather scoring with a 33-point game, not very far in the rear-view mirror. Now, the hired muscle gets mobile and is called for the foul.
And early on, a key for Sydney defensively and trying to limit Casey Prather's opportunities is keep him off his right hand on dribble penetration. He does a good job with the hesitation pocket dribble, and then once he gets you on his hip, it's over because he's just too strong in the upper body.
Cook guarded by Toohey. Finding the form hand of Tyrell Harrison. What a season he is building at Brisbane. Easily career best.
And that's the one, Derek, you're talking about. As Harrison fouls there, he's just so big. And all you need to do is get 2 feet in the paint, look to kick it to him, and really he's unguardable.
And this is the other side of the coin, Brad. He has to guard in Cooks and LePepe and eventually Cam Oliver, players who have great mobility, a little bit smaller, and they have a quickness advantage. And Harrison will have to be really good at not getting himself in foul trouble and maintaining good verticality and defensive positioning.
And the way to help that, Derek, and I completely agree, is that Brisbane have got to take good shots or great shots, because if they're going to allow the Kings to get in transition, that's going to make it even more difficult for them.
Xavier Cooks at the line, making the front end, missing the second. Prather the rebound. Last time these teams played, the only time they met this season, round 3. Cooks with a season-high 23. Leao-Pepe, a season-high 22. Brisbane struggled to contain Sydney's big men, and Sydney have to contain that man, James Bateman.
The #1 3-point shooter in the competition. When you measure up his percentage, which is over 50, and the volume that he goes with, he's having an outstanding run.
That 51-point explosion from Bateman still vivid in the memory. Sean Bruce can't match the 3, but Liafa pulls in the loose ball. Cooks, the runner, catches only the rim. Sydney ball.
Well, I was there in Brisbane when Bateman scorched that 51. And I got to say, there wasn't many poor shots that he took. They were great against Perth, and that is a wide open look for him early.
So 2.5 minutes gone, still no Jalen Adams or Cam Oliver. Toohey, he was held by Cook.
And one of the key indicators in this game will be rebounding. Brisbane are the best team in the league at rebounding the basketball. The Kings are very good on the offensive glass, but poor overall.
And Derek, it's a great indicator to Brisbane's chances. The Bullets winning their last 7 games when they win the rebound count. Right now, they've got to stop Kelly Leao-Pepe, repeating what he did against the Bullets in round 3.
To some extent, I can live with that shot, Brad. But you got to keep an eye on it. You don't want to give him regular doses of open looks from the 3.
Especially after the last game he had against them.
Cook was looking for Harrison. And there's a pushing foul called on Leo Pepe.
It's just a simple game. I mean, you look at this, and I love the fact you'll see, there's the three we're going to see here from Leo Pepe, and he's been able to knock that down consistently and wide open, and that's the one you're saying, Derek. You don't mind him shooting it, but it can't be wide open, and here comes Cam Oliver now, and Leo Pepe steps out. Jalen Adams in as well.
So Leo Pepe with 2 fouls takes a seat. He's the only king with any fouls against his name.
Yeah, that was on Cam Oliver holding Harrison.
And if I was Brisbane, I'd continue to run all types of screening action to free Harrison up. The Kings already having troubles matching up and figuring what to do schematically against it.
Not an ideal start by Oliver, on the floor for seconds and picking up a foul. The pass finds its way eventually to Prather, who drops the 3.
And we mentioned the quartet, and we left out Mitch Norton and his value to this lineup. He's doing a great job in pushing tempo, establishing defensive tempo, and passing the basketball.
Adams out there now. Norton in his 14th season. He's been doing it for a while, Derek, as Oliver tried to get away from Prather and lost the ball. They've had 8 days to prepare for this game, Sydney. Here's Norton. Oh, it's too easy for Mitch Norton. Casual as you please.
And there's the defensive transition, and casual as you please, Cam Oliver running back. He needs to hustle back there. That was 5-on-4, and that was unable to get the wide open 3.
Well, Brisbane were able to capitalize Thursday night up in Brisbane against Southeast Melbourne in poor matchups and transition, as we see Oliver get stripped cleanly by Casey Prather, and Prather's patience here, he's just probing, and Norton, a guy whose 3-point shooting continues to improve, and he will get plenty of good looks playing with the other 4 guys on the floor.
So Sydney down by 7 early, midway through the opening quarter. Big crowd in at Kudos Bank Arena.
Good hands, Brad.
Thank you.
It was good hands by Torrey Smith-Milner as well to get in the way of the Jalen Adams pass.
Did you notice Derek tried to jump across me there to grab the ball?
Oh, ball's around, I want it.
He wanted to shoot it.
Jalen Adams lets fire unsuccessfully.
That's a bit of a forced shot. That's the one they need to get through hands, find the right one.
Give me your assessment on the improvement in recent games of both Adams and Oliver, who've been criticised understandably at different stages this season.
Well, I think the number one thing is it's the energy. Oh, that's nice from Cooks, and he's been good this year, but I think it's just the fact that they look like they're not into the game, and the energy and the lack of the certainty, and that's what it is. Their numbers have been okay. I don't mind their numbers, but they just look like they go through the motions sometimes, and it's just hard to watch.
Bateman and the strong rebound of Cam Oliver. His last 4 games, 16-7, 26-9, 21-6, 12-7 most recently. So really strong from Cam Oliver. As we look at strength also from Alex Tui, those numbers come after he was held scoreless here. Last game here for the Kings against Southeast Melbourne. So he rebounded impressively, quite literally, from that duck egg against Southeast Melbourne November 8th. Prather,
and that's
again.
The one. That's the one. Yes, it might be good down one end, but you come off a screen, there's no communication. Wide open 3 for a guy that's knocking the ball down at a very high percentage in the last few weeks.
Nice spin move from Tui to force the foul on Smith-Milner. The Amy replay.
Here's what I'm talking about here. Look at this. No communication, wide open, and bang. That's Casey Prather that is scoring at an elite level right now. He cannot be taking those shots wide open.
And those are the ones that draws the ire of Coach Brian Goorjian. The inability to stick to the game plan. And as you said, Brad, you just can't let Prather take his time and line it up from the 3-point line. Shooting the ball too effectively at the moment and full of confidence as Tui knocks the first free throw down. Speaking of confidence, Tui looks like a different player in the past 3 weeks.
Hasn't missed a shot this afternoon, sitting on 5 points, 2 of 2 from the field. Trying to go likewise from the line, but it jumps away. So Brisbane's imports, haven't they been impressive? Prather averaging 17 points per game. Bateman 16, Keandre Cook 18. Finding their rhythm together, and as a result, the Bullets are on this 3-game winning streak. Tyrell Harrison gets away from two of Sydney's bigs in Cooks and Oliver to find the mark.
I mean, we turn that one over. Adams looking for Tui inside. But Brad, it's not always true, but in basketball, a lot of the time, size matters. And when your team is undersized like these Sydney Kings are, right now they are at a significant disadvantage. You can feel the tension defensively, how concerned they are about Harrison.
And the number one thing to negate that is if you come off a screen, you can't let the guy have his head up. You've got to go hard at the screen, make sure his head drops. Otherwise, a 7-footer like Harrison is doing this. Roll middle, now it's the switch, and Prather gets the look that he wants.
Casey Prather draws the foul as he drives.
Shove in the back.
And the foul will be called on Oliver. That's his second for the game. So Kelly Leapepe with 2, and the man who replaced him, Cam Oliver, now with 2. Just back to Tyrell Harrison. He was the Blitz MVP, and it's fair to say he's gone on with the job, averaging 27 minutes per game, 15 points per outing at 65%, a league high among qualified players. Nearly 10 rebounds per game, 9.8, so rounded up to 10. 1.5 assists. He's had quite the year under Justin Schuller, a Brisbane coach, in his second year in charge, and loving what he's getting out of Tyrell Harrison and Casey Prather. Nice early break to the Bullets, who have a tough record at Kudos Bank Arena. Jalen Adams spotted an opening and blew through it. Isaac White, another of some encouraging performances in recent weeks. Tyrell Harrison called for the offensive foul, driving illegally into Xavier Cooks.
Well, this is an interesting one, Brad, because this is Tyrell's second foul. Cooks, that's a charge, I think.
Yeah, look, center of the chest, bit of mayo on it, but yeah, I'd be calling that too.
He channeled his inner all black there, not his inner tall black. Proud New Zealander. Sharing the court currently with another Torrey Smith-Milner. Here's Quatnoy letting rip early and saying 3 for me.
He's been great this season for the Kings. Consistent productivity off the bench. Bateman lets one rip. Wow, we got our shootout, Matty.
We shouldn't be surprised. Coming into this game, there are players who have hit season and career highs in recent weeks. Soft hands from Jalen Adams.
What I love about that side there, with that Jalen Adams coming off, he's looking to be aggressive. It's not, will I come off and play with the ball? Go hard at the hoop.
White at the point. Isaac White, guarded by Tyler Robertson. Tough shot, and he misses. Quickly in transition, Sydney find Quatnoy again. Good look, and it jumps out.
Big minutes here from Rocco Zakarski. He's got to hold it down. He's probably going to get a good look at some extended playing time now with Harrison on 2 fouls.
This has been an exciting first quarter. Brisbane v Sydney in the Harbour City. This time the foul is called on Oliver, number 3. So troubling times here for Brian Goorjian and Cam Oliver.
And we're looking down here, the Quatnoy 3, but Derek, I hear you mention about Rocco. They're also going to look for him, right? I thought there was 2 possessions there that he's rolled, and he is wide open. The guy is 7 foot. Throw it up, let him play, and I love the fact that they're bringing Emmett Nah in. Now I'm going Nah, and Rocco on that roll. Cam Oliver's out. Cooks is going to have to take him. Come off it aggressive, go inside to Rocco.
And Cam Oliver has to sit. He hasn't fouled out this year, but we're in the first quarter. He has 3 already. Sydney 6 foul outs, 2 for Cooks, 2 for Bull Quayle. And early trouble for the man they call Space Cam.
And Sydney need to tighten up on the defensive end. That's where their bread is buttered. But 24 points, 25 points already is too many in this first quarter for the Bullets. And the Bullets have a little concern with Cook and Harrison on 2 fouls also.
Derek, they're best in the league for opposition field goal percentage. Just above 40 is Xavier Cooks. Shows us why his shooting percentage is so high. You don't miss when you finish from there like that. The crowd underlining the point you made a moment ago, Derek. They want better D from their Kings. White puts it on the floor. Finds Norton. Got away from Alex Tui, but the shot was a poor one, and that will do us. The shot clock expired.
Sorry, I was just going to say, this is where they're either missing Bateman or Emmett Nah needs to go get that ball. It was not... Get back to that simple on-ball screen and roll, not necessarily have to be off the first one and kick, and get that wide open shot.
I thought that shot might have brushed the rim, but it missed. Shot clock violation by the Bullets. Inside the final minute of the first, Tyler Robertson ran out of options and fed Jalen Adams, who lets rip with a 3 and knocks it down.
Comes back down the court smirking like nobody can guard me. Tough shot there from Adams. Kings needed that one.
He knocked a lot of shots down like that in the pre-game shoot-around.
That's like a Derek Rucker smirk. No one can guard me.
Now the turnover from Brisbane, and it's Adams again, holding his nerve with an eye on Emmett Nah. A casual finish, now the flex, and even the ownership bench likes that. Back on level terms.
And this is what the Kings need to do, Brad, to help their offensive efficiency, turn defensive opportunities into fast break points, and great job there by the Kings. Adams getting out in the clear.
Nice little run by Sydney late in the first. The Amy replay showing the versatility of Jalen Adams. His last 5 games, he's gone 20 points, 10, 22, 23, 20.
No doubt he's starting to look like he's got pop back in his legs. We know he had that back injury. Looking much better.
Quite literally, his body language, which has been criticised, looking better and better. Brisbane almost banked an unlikely 3. Xavier Cooks would have applied quite the exclamation mark. Instead, we finish an exciting first quarter all square. Sydney, Brisbane, 25 each after the first.
Including the behind-the-scenes tour, courtside scenes in the Canada OSR 100 camera and 4. Don't miss out, scan now, and good luck from the Harvey North.
Scan the QR code, and not only are you guaranteed to win one of thousands of great prizes, but you also vote on the song to be played today and win a money can't buy experience thanks to Harvey Norman. Spin the win and scan the code right now. Kings fans, we want to wish all our members a big happy birthday. Thank you for your support. Special happy birthday to David Serrano, and a special shout out to George Marley, Hugh, Robbie, Jack, Jamie Rufus, and Zachy B. On behalf of Hoops Capital, we would like to welcome and congratulate the 2024 graduating class of the Hoops Capital Sport and Business Program held by Cedar. We're here celebrating with us tonight. That's a man! There they are. Congratulations on graduating.
After the class of 2024 Hoops Capital Sports and Business Program. Congratulations on completing your course with Hoops Capital this year. I hope you learned plenty about being inside a professional basketball environment.
The Sydney Kings had a 7-0 scoring run to finish the fourth quarter. Jalen Adams, Xavier Cook's part of that to lock it up at 25-all. Brisbane hunting a fourth straight win. The Kings back home in more than a month and hoping to get this crowd making more and more noise. Great to have you with us as the Hungry Jacks NBL finishes round 12 with this game. A busy Christmas New Year period coming. The ladder so bunched earlier on. Southeast Melbourne, impressive, adding more intrigue and more questions to this race for the postseason. Norton, first possession in the second quarter, is called for the travel.
Well, I like how the Sydney Kings have come out in the second half of that first quarter. I thought they weren't so good. The score was 13-8, but then they got 17-12 run after that. And I think that came from the defensive end of changing that on-ball screen up. Now they're getting stops.
And it also came on the back of Tyrell Harrison drawing that second
good point.
foul. He was a +7 as Adams also is having a major impact in this game. Knocks down a 3. He's got 12 early.
The second man to double figures after Casey Prather's 10 points in the first quarter to lead the Bullets. Another offensive foul called on Brisbane.
Derek, we see all these players and nothing better than what our course Bryce Cotton is doing. But players are having 30 at three-quarter time. Tell me Jalen Adams is not sitting back there going, all right, today's me.
Well, you measure your talent and ability against your peers. And right now, Jalen probably feels like that guy's doing it, I can do it.
And I'm not going to let you get away. Do you have Bryce at number 3?
Well, let's not spoil what's to come in the future, but I think he's settling some scores real fast.
That says yes. I didn't hear that.
The extended arm of Xavier Cooks finds the target. Joe Healy, over to you.
I actually think he had Bryce at number 4, Brad. Justin Schuller obviously a little frustrated with the end of that quarter. He said there was too much self-harm out there and they've got to trust each other defensively. I did speak to him before the game about their round 3 loss to the Kings. He said watching it back was a little frustrating, just given the inconsistencies, but also positive reflection on how far they've come since then.
Absolutely, Joe. Good point. Galilea Pepe off the mark. The rebound taken by Smith Milner. They were beaten in round 3. Brisbane 91-82 by Sydney. The Kings led by as many as 29 after enjoying an 18-0 run. So that scored a little kind in the end to the Bullets. As Bateman tries to bank two. Prather can't clean up, but Rocco Zakarsky can and catches an elbow as a result.
Derek, you've said it from the tip-off. Offensive rebounds will kill this team if they don't let it. If they let it keep going. But this man, he is on fire at the moment. That's 15 points. 3 or 4 from the three-point line. 6 or 7 from the field.
That is just nonchalant, Derek Rucker. Almost with his eyes shut. Jalen Adams on the Amy replay.
And he's deep out there on the floor. Right now, Sydney must play through Adams and Cooks. Everybody must understand the context of the game and how those guys are performing.
Let's hear more from Joe, who spoke with the Kings coach before the game.
Good, just been over a month since you were here at Kudos Bank Arena. What are the energy levels? How are you feeling at the moment?
No, it's really exciting to be on our home court, and we know we've played a lot of road games, so, you know, this is coming. We know it's coming at some time, and it's starting now. The big thing, the big impact has been that really noticeable is that we had a week of practice. When you play at home, you get an opportunity to practice and prepare. So I'm hoping, I don't know about but long term, you know, there's going to be some improvement in our offense and defensive schemes by the amount of time we're getting to practice.
Yeah, the Kings' last game, a 15-point win against New Zealand, was 8 days ago. Now, Gorge has been criticised this season for blaming travel and the inability to practice and heal like he would have liked. Well, no excuses today. 8 days is a long, long time to get ready.
Correct, and they need to capitalize now. They've been decent without meeting expectations thus far. And right now, Brad, I said a couple of weeks ago, I anticipated them getting on a run and then that Christmas night game being a pivotal one. Yeah. But right now, they've got to handle their business today because Brisbane looked really focused, but this little burst from the Kings has put them in a good position.
And let's not, we know what Gorge is doing there too. He's taking the friction off the team and just going, give me them in the training pack, and then we can be judged.
It was a 7-0 run up to quarter time for Sydney. They're 8-2 since quarter time. almost the turnover. They avoid that. Xavier Cook's quick ball movement. It ends up with Kawat Noi. Only the finish was missing. Casey Prather jumps on the pass from Lea Pepe. He forces the foul on Adams, scores the 2 and is off to the line. Maybe that is what Brisbane need.
Now that is just quality. A lot of people would have just tried to lay that up and probably maybe got a charge, but he took that extra dribble. Watch here, he'll just take that right now. Could have jumped there, but nope. Takes the hit, lays it up. That is Casey Prather. Magnificent.
12 points and 5 boards. Great start from Prather.
He thrilled the league as a Wildcat in 2016-17. As a championship winner at Melbourne, 18 and 20, the knee injury. But the more you watch him in NBL25, he seems to be well and truly over that.
Well, I had a bit to do with Casey in the offseason, and he kept telling me, I'm ready, and everyone was holding him back. You're only allowed to do so much, and it looks like everything has worked out really well. As Kawat Noi knocks down his second 3 of the first half, but Prather way ahead of where people thought he would be with his performances.
Of course, Kawat Noi had the 5 made 3s here against Tasmania round 6. Cooks throws it away. Ran into some good D and gives it to Cook. Followed up by Tyrell Harrison.
And so Tyrell has those 2 fouls. A little bit of a risk putting him in now. Adams just continues his push.
It's a tough one, isn't it, Derek? You say Harrison has got that too, but you can see they're so much better with him on the court.
Big time.
And you don't want him to pick up that 3rd, so this is where the coaching chess game comes into it.
Well, how high is Jalen Adams going today? 17 points with 6.5 left in the second quarter. 7 of 8 shooting, including 3 of 4 from outside. Here he is at the line for the first time today.
Well, I think they're going to have to get Mitch Norton on him, and with clear instructions, limit his touches. When he gets it, be smart and play good percentage defense. Try not to let him get to his spots.
His season high is 27, career high 39, but for the time being, it's Brisbane trying to stem the momentum back to 37-35. Tui put a foot on the sideline. Bucket waved away. That would hurt Brian Goorjian as we look at the frustrated Sydney coach courtside. Here's the last Brisbane bucket on the Amy replay. Andre Cook, just the 3 points so far today. And it will stay that way as he slaps his hands in frustration.
Great
Mitch
defense.
Norton again, Brad.
Beautiful.
That's the matchup I said had to occur.
James Bateman fed by Casey Prather. 2 of the big guns combined brilliantly.
And that's the value of a Mitch Norton. He goes and takes that defensive assignment, gets his hands on the ball, leads to that kick out. Look at him, gets his body in front, and it is a fallacy that you don't use your hands defensively. You do, but you got to pick your times. That guy knows what to do with his hands when he's shooting the ball, Brad.
Let's check in with Justin Schuller, who spoke with Joe pre-game.
You guys are coming off a big win over Southeast Melbourne. You've had time to look back on the tape now. Is there anything that jumped out at you from that game?
Yeah, I think it was a tale of 2 halves for us, and we really looked at the areas we have to improve, especially against Sydney. There were some things Southeast did that we know is a strength for them, and then also look at the good stuff that we did in the second half and how we can carry that over into this one. So, yeah, pleasing the way we responded in the second half, and that's what we're looking to try and build on in this one.
What are those areas from the first half? I know you spoke in the press conference that there was a lot that you weren't happy with. What are those areas, and how have you addressed those coming into this one?
Yeah, honestly, it's a trust on the defensive end between teammates. I think there were too many times we didn't quite cover the part of the floor that we wanted to, which gave them downhill attack or an overhelp that gave them an uncontested 3. And we know that that's something that Sydney are pretty good at doing. So, you know, that's where we'll start with our focus, is how good can our ball screen D be, our positioning on the floor, are we taking care of our assignments, and then grow it from there.
Justin Schuller, championship-winning assistant coach at Melbourne. He wants to be a championship-winning head coach at Brisbane. That game he was referring to, the Bullets put 116 on the Phoenix after 122 on United, 102 on the 36ers. So, Brad, 3 straight wins at 113 points per game in that stretch.
Well, what I love with Justin is those first 7 games of the season, they scored 100 once. And they had scores of 79, 84, 82, quite low. In the second 7 games that they've played now, 5 times over 100. That is coming because they're picking it up on the defensive end and getting out on the break. And I love watching them.
They've allowed their 3 imports to play together more.
Here he is, Casey Prather. That time it was the block from Cook, the finish from Prather.
Continues to be an absolute sniper from outside the 3-point line.
Prather to 16 points for the game, an air ball.
And Brad, Tyrell Harrison in only 10 minutes of court time is a plus 17. We look at this Amy replay. Adams trying to stay cooking, gets it rejected.
And you're right. Cook blocks it. Bateman pushes. Prather for the 3. There's your 3 imports.
So Brisbane back out by 4. Andre Cook. Nice shake to get away from Quatnoy. And the handoff for Tyrell Harrison. They've got some weapons, the Bullets.
Got to keep going to it. You know Cam Oliver's got his fouls. He doesn't really want to bounce down there. And Harrison, he's having a field day.
So Brisbane by 6. Their biggest lead of the game is 9. It's cut here by Alex Tui, the next star. Some great next star news during the week that was touched on heavily yesterday. Dash Daniels, won't that be exciting, at Melbourne, NBL26. Cook lets rip, leaves it short, and Tui, we're talking Netscars, comes away with it. Roster changes also at Tasmania, so much happening. Don't miss the NBL Now podcast each day, featuring Derek Rucker, featuring Brad Rosen, among the many guests. Bateman has it rim away.
Who else? What defense.
Very good call.
Mitch Norton, he just does all those little plays, has been doing it his whole career, knew what was going on. Good shot by Brisbane, misses it though, and he just gets another stop for that team, and he'll be subbed out for beautiful minutes.
Started his career on the floor as a floor wiper at the Townsville Crocodiles.
There you go.
Became a Townsville Croc to start his NBL journey all those seasons ago, 14 seasons ago. And it's been great to watch him develop and have success across a range of clubs during that long career. Mitch Norton.
Right now, Brad, Brisbane keep producing good shot opportunities for themselves. Sydney have to figure out a way. Again, that was on. But Brisbane are doing a very good job executing their offense and getting looks they want, whether it's in the half court or in transition.
Well, I like this sub. Harrison's come out. He's played some big quality minutes. 3 minutes to go. You don't want him to pick up that extra foul. And now it's up to Rocco. Run the floor hard, set good screens, and rebound.
Emmett Nah, Zakarski, Smith, Milner, Cook and Bateman out there for Schuller. Xavier Cooks high off the glass and home.
Right back at it. Defense.
Andre Cook gets away from Tui, but Alex has the final say. The deflection picked up by Liafa Kiatnoi. No go.
Both teams shooting over 50% from the field. Brisbane at 54% from the 3-point line.
Brisbane with a tough record at Kudos Bank Arena, only winning here 4 times. 15-4. Wow. That'll improve if James Bateman keeps cooking.
You got to play tighter on him. Just being in a standard default defensive held position isn't good enough. You got to crowd him and jam him away from the ball as Cooks has one go off his knee.
Well, it seems to me that Schuler will not have two imports out at once.
And so he shouldn't.
I agree. He's subbing these guys in and out very quickly. Right substitutions, like how he's playing this team.
Bateman spun, ducked, drove and missed.
Good defensive transition, Brisbane.
2 minutes left before the big break. Good ball movement, Tui. And the tip back by Cooks. The man who leads Sydney for scoring and rebounding has another say there. Prather likes the look. He's been dropping them all day, and he's not stopping here. Up to 19, a game-high 19 on 6 of 9, 4 of 5 from outside. Watnoy draws the foul.
And Matty, we look at that Casey Prather 3-ball, and it's amazing how a good defender can be diminished by the confidence and rhythm of a hot offensive player. You see Noy does a good job of getting Rocco out of position. He reaches and grabs, and Noy will go to the line to shoot too. But right now, again, Brad, you can't let Prather and Bateman get good touches in the right spots on the floor, because they're in that flow state where they're able to be productive, and they feel they're unstoppable right now.
I'm just looking at Casey's numbers, and he had 16 the last game, but then 27, 33, 31. He is just performing at such a high level. Today, 19. Like, he is just, as we say, balling.
Noy makes both at the line to go to 7 points today. The key contributors for Sydney in their 9-7 start to the season. Crowd loves him, and he's still out there trying to stop Bateman. Time was expiring, if you don't mind. James Bateman banks the 3. Oh, they're cooking the Brisbane imports.
Well, I think they've only given him 2 for that shot. The Brisbane bench wanted to be a 3.
He signaled 3. I thought it was a 3.
Well, they've now corrected it and given him 3.
Emmett Nah. Nice from Emmett. Justin Schuller up. They're riding this now. Brad.
I hear you week in, week out, the way you finish quarters. Now, you look at this, the Bullets. Hits the 3 on the runner, gets a stop, wide open layup, poor defense by Sydney. Brisbane, man, they are coming to town and ready to play today.
Brisbane's biggest lead in the first quarter, 9. They're out by 9 here. Cooks forces the foul on Rocco Zakarski.
So overall, not a bad result. You'd rather have a foul on Rocco and send Cooks, who is a less than average to average free throw shooter, to the line, and also with 7.8 on the clock, it allows Justin Schuller to call a timeout, perhaps, and set up a possession.
As you mentioned, Derek, they have changed that Bateman 2 to a 3. Xavier at the free throw line this season, 63%.
And I'm not as cruel as our colleague Andrew Gaze is about everybody's free throw shooting, but certainly Xavier is not one of the top free throw shooters in the comp.
As we take a tangerine timeout, it gives us the chance to mention the summer shootout, which I am so looking forward to. I think this is a wonderful initiative.
Yep.
Each team was asked to nominate an away game in January where they think they'll have their highest score. If you pick that score by scanning that QR code or heading to NBL.com.au, you are in the running to win 100K. And this game is a preview to one of those summer shootout contests, because Sydney nominated Brisbane in Brisbane as their summer shootout game. They think they're going big on the Bullets.
And there's a possibility. I mean, we've seen some tremendous performances, and Brisbane will play fast at home. So Sydney will have the opportunity to get some points up. But look what's happened just this over the past 7 days, Brad. Brisbane put 122 on Melbourne in Melbourne, and then last night behind Bryce Cotton, who is, I can't even describe what this guy's doing right now. They put up 128 in cans.
I think we should introduce a new element to the summer shootout. You get to pick a game in January where Bryce Cotton is playing and nominate his high score.
Right?
63,
Well,
58.
I picked Illawarra at 118. I'm thinking that might be three-quarter time. The way they're putting points on the board now, I'm trying to work out why. Is that the defense is better as he makes his first free throw? It's just been unbelievable, the offense, at a high clip that everyone's shooting.
So the 63% free throw man at the line makes the front end. Here he is back end, then back to Derek regarding the summer shootout very quickly. Xavier Cooks, ice cool. If you were in a team who'd been nominated by your opposition, how would you come out competitively as the inbound from Prather finds the stretch of Kwatnoi? Xavier Cooks hits the deck. There's a foul called on Emmett Nah. But Derek, how would you respond being the team who was nominated by the visiting team?
Well, you take it as a serious affront.
Yes.
And you're going to come in and try and not only beat them, but set the highest points total for the round, irrespective of where the game is played. You want to blow their lids off.
5.2 is going to change. We're going to change it.
So 5.2 seconds left in the half.
I do have to look at it better. Has anyone picked one team away that team has picked them away? I'd love to see that, because that would be... I'm going at you.
We'll get back to you tomorrow morning, Brad.
Yeah.
Cooks misses the first.
Thanks for being quiet there, Derek. Appreciate the heads up there, mate.
Cooks 3 of 5 at the line thus far in his 16 minutes, 13 points. Having a very solid game.
A number of players are. It's been so far an exciting way to finish round 12. Hungry Jacks NBL. Game 82 of the season. Thankfully, many, many more to come. We're back here on Christmas night, of course.
Well, Brian Gorgeon's just asking why didn't the clock move. He's saying it was 3.5 before they started, so we're just checking that now.
Brisbane with 54 at the half, Matty. That's some outstanding shooting, but, you know, a great coach like Brian Gorgeon would find this just so gut-wrenching to allow a team to come on to his home court and shoot 61% from the three in the first half.
Continuing what they've done over their last 3 games, those scores again: 102 against Adelaide, 122 against Melbourne, 116 last start against the Phoenix. Here's a steal. Isaiah Leafa gets the shot away. Floats by the target, and the first half expires. Another outstanding one by the Bullets, who've been led by big scores again from Casey Prather, 19, James Bateman, 15. And for the Sydney Kings, Jalen Adams feeling it with 17. Xavier Cooks rock solid as usual with 14. So it's the Bullets by 6 at halftime, Derek.
And a little bit of a clunky finish there by the Bullets, a little 3-0 mini run by the Kings, and they took a little bit of the air out of the game for Brisbane.
So Casey Prather did it easily at stages in the first half, and he's standing by with Joe.
Here's Casey, 19 in the first half. What are you seeing from their defence that's allowing you to get to your stops?
I mean, to be honest, I'm just knocking down a couple shots. The team is finding a good job of just finding me in the open spots, and when they collapse, I was able to knock down some shots. But that's on our defensive end right now. We got to get some stops.
They have been on a couple of runs. How do you limit that momentum in the second half?
Yeah, just sit down and guard. You know, they get into the paint, which is leading to like kick-out threes. And yeah, they hot right now, so we got to do something to disrupt them a little bit.
Good luck for the second.
Thank you.
Casey Prather, 19 points to lead all scorers in the first half. After the break, Joe Healy, Derek Rucker, Brad Rosen take you through the first half. It's the Bullets on track for 4 in a row, but first they need a big second half.
Welcome back to the Hungry Jacks NBL. It is the Heritage Round presented by Mitsubishi. Halftime here at Kudos Bank Arena as the Bullets by 6 over the Sydney Kings. It has been a game of scoring runs so far. I'm Joe Healy alongside Brad Rosen and Derek Brucker. Guys, what have you made of that first half?
Well, I think Brisbane have come in here really ready to play and really been doing exactly what they've done over the last few weeks. But Derek, if I'm Brian Goorjian, 54 points is way too many. They've said they've had their home, they've been able to get home in the training paddock. This is just not good enough, and giving up 54 points, it's way over 100, and you can't win games that way.
Well, they've got a significant problem anytime Tyrell Harrison is on the court, and also Keandre Cook. Those guys are plus 17 out on the floor. Tyrell now has been able to get through that first half, having had 2 fouls pretty early, and Sydney must find a way to limit the three-point shooting of the Brisbane Bullets. Far too many good looks from the three. Right now, Sydney have their hands full, Joe.
A couple of sloppy plays by the Bullets to win that second quarter, but the highlight really has been Casey Braither. As we take a look at the Hungry Jacks halftime highlights, he's been brilliant.
He has, and he's been doing it for a number of weeks. And what I love about Casey is I don't see any shots that are forced. They're all good shots, wide open. Look here, steps back, knocks down the three, and he's very happy to give up the pass if it's not on. That's the one that it was and one, and I love the way he's playing, very confident.
He's so much more of a smarter and cerebral player now. The physical, we know what he's gone through, but he's figured out a way to still be a high-impact player in this competition as we look at the Blackmore shot chart. Wow, 19 points on 6 of 9 shooting, incredible productivity and efficiency. The Sydney Kings have to find a suitable matchup for Casey Prather at the point of attack.
What about for the Sydney Kings? Jalen Adams, we talk about him all the time. He really is their leader out there with the ball, but he's had a massive positive impact in this one.
He did, but I thought he went quiet there in the second quarter, and I love what Derek says. He's got to be careful not to over-dribble, but when he comes off and does this type of work, that's where he's great. 7 of 9, not over-dribbling, shoots the three, and gets his teammates into it. But I didn't see much of that at the end of that second quarter.
Brad, I'm playing him the whole second half.
Yep.
It's time to go. Stop messing around with all these substitutions and rotating and trying to figure out where he is in the game. Just let Jalen Adams play. Let everybody work around him. And I think as a unit, the Sydney Kings will be emboldened and a lot stronger as a lineup.
I like it.
A massive second half coming up here at Kudos at Bank Arena. This is the Hungry Jacks NBL. It's the Bullets by 6 over the Kings. Stay with us.
2 on the clock.
14 points, 4 boards for Jesse Wagstaff in an excellent catch. Up to 39. Kings have had enough.
Take your game from the local court to the big time. Step onto an NBL court after the final buzzer. Backing local ballers is just the beginning.
Chemist Warehouse giving you the chance to win the Ultimate Fans MVP Finals experience. Scan the QR code on screen right now to enter. You can win 4 fully catered corporate seats for the NBL Finals game, along with 4 signed jerseys and the chance to meet an NBL player post-game. Enter now and stop paying too much. Shop at Chemist Warehouse, proud partners of the NBL.
The Sydney Kings aim for a winning standard. So do we. At Host Plus, we brought home the CanStar Award for Outstanding Value Super for the 7th year in a row. That's a plus.
Well-being isn't just about staying fit, healthy, and injury-free. It also means feeling mentally well. One of the biggest causes of stress for Australians is money. Something our banking partner, Beyond Bank, wants to change. If you want to learn more about managing your money and improving your financial well-being, book a free banking review with Beyond Bank today.
Stay on top of your game at Harvey Norman with the latest tech from Canon. Shoot and score with winning deals across our cannon range. Available in-store and online. Now at Harvey Norman, official retailer to the Sydney Kings.
Take your game from a local court.
Tui down the lane.
Cooks over the top, he comes. Oh, Cooks on the roll. What a finish. What noise.
Galloway. Grown man business from Jalen Galloway. High jumping Jalen. Cam Oliver slams that with authority.
Slam central for Sydney.
Definitely Cam #1, I think, just because he tries to dunk everything. He's just one of those kind of guys. He's an entertainer. He's always trying to put on a show.
Hang on a second. Space Cam.
It's showtime. I could catch somebody this year, but it could be X.
Oh!
Kawhi, maybe.
Get up! No way!
We'll see, man. Kawhi caught a crazy body last year.
Noise.
Save.
Over Soda! Yes, sir! He goes straight in the big boys!
I'm trying to think JT.
Galloway!
Quatch.
Mellowatch.
Tui.
Oh, my glory-filled days. There we go.
You have to remind them all that you've got the only game-winning dunk, though.
Jalen Adams has had a tough day. Gets to the basket. Oh, my goodness, Jalen Adams!
The play was originally drew up for DJ, but if he didn't get a quick look, then he swing it and somebody gonna sprint up for a ball screen. So I just knew if I just can bait him a little bit into the screen, I'm refusing it. And I ain't planning on dunking it, but the lane kind of just like opened up, gave me like a crazy runway, so highlight was made. I think everybody just kind of, when they see it, they like, you still got that? Like, 2 points is 2 points to me. But like, if I have to dunk it or like, I'm feeling really good, yeah, I still got bounce.
Ain't that the truth? That man certainly does have bounce. He hasn't had to jam today with 17 points, had 9 in the first quarter, but he needs to do some work, as does his fellow import, Cam Oliver, who last time at home had his only scoreless game in 71 NBL outings. Guess what? He's scoreless again to half-time. Cam Oliver, 0 of 3 from the field. So while Jalen Adams has been able to get it going, Cam Oliver not so offensively.
He got himself in foul trouble with 3, and it was a -12 in those 9 minutes, Matty. And right now, the Sydney Kings got to find a way, as soon as he gets in the game, to get some confidence, to get him some touches and feeling like he's a part of the game and he can feel the flow of the game.
Brad Rosen, you raised a really good point when it came to Brisbane's 54 points about a player missing for Sydney who was also missing from that win in New Zealand last start.
Yeah, Bull Quoll. We have to obviously mention him. He's right up there for one of the best defensive players in the league. And when you take him out, let's not also mention Jalen Galloway's out for the season. So when you lose caliber of that, you can understand. But still, there is enough legs in this team that they should not be giving up 54 points.
I feel like, given we're mentioning injuries, we also need to touch on Brisbane's injury list. The biggest in the league. No Deng Adele, no Sam McDaniel, no Jared Bairstow, and Josh Bannon warmed up. He looked like he was going to play, and then last minute didn't appear on the team list, but he's very, very close, Josh Bannon. They're with inside of 4 straight wins despite being injury depleted. A nice way for Xavier Cooks and Sydney to resume from half-time.
Good look there. Cooks gets a little pick and pop mid-range. Gets himself going in this second half.
Stay down.
Cook.
Go in.
It was Cook's successful, Cook unsuccessful to start this third quarter. And Jalen Adams The hair out today. Kelly Leaupepe, his pass deflected by DeAndre Cook. King's ball still.
Derek, we spoke off air and we just said felt Brisbane just blew it a little bit there in the second quarter. A couple of sloppy turnovers at the end. They ended up going in up 6 at the half, but that could have been 10. Come out, hit the 3. Now they're really in this game. Sydney look like they've got their leg up, now hitting another 3.
Alex Tui, it was beautiful the moment it left his hand.
Back-to-back threes and finishing that half a little bit sloppy from the Bullets. It's got them in trouble now. That 9-point lead's been cut to 0 in just a matter of minutes.
We're tied for the 3rd time in the game. Tyrell Harrison stepping his way down the lane.
Underrated in that department, his ability to put the ball on the deck and use footwork to be elusive.
Xavier Cooks wanted the foul call, it didn't come. Now Bateman under the bucket.
Give that to Mitch Norton again. Got his centre of his chest right into Cooks's arm as he was driving and then was able to get the ball and Brisbane go off to the races.
Jalen Adams pulls up. A little heavy on the shot.
The hold and then the push. Baseline. Push.
So the foul on Mitch Norton. Sydney get out of jail there. Brisbane has spent the majority of the game in the lead by as many as 9. A couple of times, in fact. And Norton, the thief, does it legally this time. Great defence again from Mitch Norton. And Bateman denied by similar D at the Sydney end. The extra pass from Adams allows Cooks to draw the foul. He's going back to the line.
And we talked about the rebounding count being a big factor in the outcome of this game. Sydney have done a really good job. They've hung in there on the defensive glass. Brisbane only have 2 offensive rebounds. The turnovers haven't been great by either team, but no one has a distinct advantage, hence the closeness of this ball game.
Zave has the first one rim away. 59% career free throw shooter. 63% this season. And today at the line he's 4 of 7.
Well, I'm just going to be interested to see how they match up. Isaiah Leapa's come out of the game. They brought Quatnoy in, so that's for the offense. But on the defensive end, it'll be interesting to see who they match up against who.
Good work, Kelly Leaupepe, to keep the ball for Sydney and allow Jalen Adams to get to the rim.
19 points now on 8 of 11 shooting. Adams also chipped in with 3 assists. Doing a really good job guiding this team back into the game.
Mitch Norton in the corner, sets his feet, leaves it short. Alex Tui brings Sydney up the floor. Finds Cooks, and Quatnoy gets a great look but can't finish.
Great box out there from Bateman.
Brisbane's shooting stats that you touched on, Derek, in the first half, outstanding. 58% from the field, 61% from the land of plenty that just drop a little bit after that missed attempt from James Bateman.
I think this matchup here, Cook should look to take Leaupepe.
And Leaupepe's best efforts can't deny Cook.
Well, I wound up being right. It wasn't the prettiest.
I heard you held your breath right at the end there.
I mean, I think
but no, you're right.
A better look than that, but he got that to drop. But yeah, it wasn't convincing.
Oh, Xavier Cooks gets jiggy and forces the foul on Tyrell Harrison.
24. Line up, line up.
Cooks is really good in that face-up situation, especially going right to left, and that was a big one, obviously, as Rocco Zakarski will check into the game for Tyrell Harrison, who's picked up his 3rd foul. And we'll go through this seesaw again in this 3rd quarter, with Harrison probably missing the balance of it now.
Harrison with 3, Rocco Zakarski with 3. We jump up to the Sydney Kings. where Cam Oliver has 3, Kililea Pepe 2.
Xavier Cook's currently 4 of 9 from the free throw line. And if this game's going to be a tight one, Xavier's going to have to convert from the line. Because when you miss, when you set yourself a pattern of misses and you go to the line late, Brad, it's tough to knock them in.
So hard.
Okay, big moments coming up for Cam Oliver, fresh onto the floor, yet to score today, nursing those 3 fouls. How does the import handle the next few minutes? His team down by 3. Casey Prather guarded by Adams. Casey spins and flushes 2.
No weak side, no weak side. And you've got to show it early to discourage that type of move.
The turnover by Sydney, no, they hang on to adjust. Cook sits it up, and there's a finish for Oliver. His first points come in stylish fashion.
Well, they got away with it there. The Kings, but great pass. But right now, to me, you go to Cam Oliver. There's no use having him on the court if you're not going to run the on-ball. Let him come off. Let him try and get you some scores, because that'll bring him into this game.
Go get him, go get him, go get him.
Fantastic assist from Xavier Cooks. And now Cook loses it out of play and the crowd gets involved. The Amy replay, Xavier Cooks for Space Cam. So Brisbane by 3, midway through the third. Alex Tui steps back, leaves it short. Bateman now. Bateman gets past Tui, but not Oliver. It's Brisbane's ball.
Brisbane are pretty fortunate here.
Yeah, they're going to challenge that. I'm looking at Gorgian. He is not happy at all. They will challenge that
up in the air, Brad, and just try to do something with it.
They called it on Alex Tui. For a moment, there were some nervous looks from Cam Oliver. He avoids the foul. Alex Tui, the man identified by the referees.
Right leg out of cylinder, creating contact, putting him in up this line. Foul call at the top of the pass.
Well, they've called it on Tui there. I'm not sure what he's, if anything, like, look at the hook there, right here, or maybe the bump there first.
Calling that nudge before the hook.
Yeah. On that replay, I'm going to say it's unsuccessful for the bump, as you just said, right there.
It's moderately soft, but as we know in these replay situations, technical contact will be adjudicated to be a foul.
Don't worry, Cam, it's not on you. If it is a foul, it will be called on Alex Tui.
The more I see this, the more I'm going to say it's unsuccessful.
We could be disappointed, though, Brad.
Because of the bump there, is that the one?
Right there, that's what I'm thinking. Wow.
Well, you're sacked.
I want to hear what Scotty's got to say.
Let's go to a professional referee. Scott Butler, over to you.
Hey guys, all right, so when you process this play from the start, Tui does a really good job of sliding laterally with the offensive player. He slides Tui's right. Bateman tries to skip around and hooks him. There's no illegal contact by Tui on this play.
Wow.
Because Bateman actually passes the ball off, the foul is wiped. We retain the Brisbane ball on the baseline.
Scott, it's fantastic to get your explanation again. Thank you. Derek, I don't know whether you agree.
I thought the nudge, again, soft, but there was contact, and Sydney are very fortunate, I believe. Thanks for the explanation, Scotty.
It's a fantastic initiative to be able to dive into the review.
Did Adams get control?
Are you ready,
And Vaughan Maybury.
I think we're just trying to work out
explanation.
They just got 13 seconds, and I think if it wasn't control, it will go back to 14. That's what they're asking now.
And right now, with Brisbane's imports being in good form, this is a patch in the game, a critical time in the game where they must be productive and stretch this lead out.
Mitch Norton finds Casey Prather. A hot hand for Brisbane today finds the assured hand from close range of Rocco Zikarsky.
Great penetration by Prather. 21 points, 3 dimes and 7 boards. Another solid performance.
All 7 feet 3 inches of him. Zikarsky looking for the rebound.
Well, that was great defense by Rocco there, because he could have come up and tried to block that, but there would have been a handoff there for Xavier Cooks. Really did it well and had to make Quatnoy shoot the shot, then they could get it back.
Brisbane by 5. They were out by 6 at halftime. 4 minutes 40 left in the third. The long bomb misses from Brisbane. The rebound to Oliver. Smith-Milner about to return for the Bullets. Here's Jalen Adams, guarded by Prather and stopped by Prather, but with a foul.
He had him hemmed in the corner. Just let up the intensity, and he changed his body angle, which allowed him to get out of it. And once Adams gets there, that's tough. Got him across Adams' left arm.
Well, Rocco comes out now. Smith-Milner comes in now. I may be wrong, Derek, but I think this is the first time not one of the 7-footers are on. So he's changed his ploy now of the way he wants to play.
That's fine. So that's it. Court is done.
And with Prather's ability to get the ball off the bounce into the paint, he's going to have either Cooks or Oliver on him at times in possessions, and he should be able, right now, no one knows who's guarding him.
Adams makes his second and third free throws of the game, having missed his first. 78% free throw shooter this season. Here's Smith-Milner down low, and the foul is called on Cooks. So Torrey goes to the line.
Well, Sydney didn't have their matchup right on the push after the bucket and just never got themselves sorted again, Brad. They should get now matched up and understand who's guarding who. And I think there's a matchup I don't like. And if they can get Cam Oliver into some on-balls, it looks like he wants to switch out, and they can exploit that with a mismatch in the paint when Oliver's outside, extended defensively.
And I think Gorge saw that because he's brought Leartha back in now. So he's now got Adams and Leartha to play there. But on the offensive end, I'm just surprised the Kings don't go more to Cam Oliver. Like, to me, he's not out there for his defense. The guy can put the ball in the hole, and I'm not sure what's the use of having him out there if you're not going to have him in those on-balls to try and get the scores with Jalen Adams.
Derek, you mentioned rebounding being so important. It's all square for the time being. So who wants this game? Who's going to climb all over the boards? Prather riding his luck. Casey Prather floats through the air, gets to the rim and finishes. Brisbane by 5. Oliver, tough shot, tipped home by Xavier Cooks.
One stop!
Defense.
Full court time for Isaac White. Prather drops the tray, lets the crowd know about it. And it's Brisbane by 7. Cooks leaves too short.
Brad, tense moments right here by the Kings. They're fiddly on the offensive end, and Brisbane just seemed more capable of getting quality looks.
That's nice move, Keandre Cook. All that was missing was the bucket at the end. They're on a win-loss sequence, Sydney, off a win. They've struggled for consistency, yet to win more than 2 in a row this season. A big couple of minutes here with Brisbane out by 7. Isaiah Liafa.
Well, I'm looking at the Brisbane bench here, Matty and Derek. Rocco's come in and prayed the call for the foul. Sorry, for the sub. So he'll come out, and now they're bringing Bateman in. I was going to think this is the first time they'll only have one import in because Cook's coming out as well. But obviously with 1:51 left, this is the chess game where they're going to give those boys a sub. This is a big couple of minutes here for Brisbane.
Big couple of minutes for Casey Prather as well. His ability just to seemingly levitate where most people are coming back to earth. He's just hanging in the air, getting closer to the target, is phenomenal. A man to win a championship in his first 3 NBL seasons.
Well, Casey Prather is in that unique space where he is dictating the speed of his performance. And right now, it's at an optimal level for the Brisbane Bullets, and Cooks continues to struggle from the free throw line, currently 5 of 11. And you can see it's affecting him emotionally as he goes off the floor, disappointed in himself.
This Brisbane side, they were 3-6 midway through round 9, and questions were being asked. What a recovery it has been. Win this, they go to 8-7 and into the top 4. Rocco Zikarsky comes away empty, but they're out by 6 with 90 seconds left in the third. It is time for a king to find a cool head and a hot hand.
Hey.
Is it going to be Jalen Adams?
Brad, I just get frustrated with the Kings offense. I want to see passing, screening, cutting, and so many times it's just bounce too early.
Too early and no one touches the ball. Like those 3.
Shot quality not up to scratch.
Yeah.
Good D from Adams to get a hand in the road. Jalen finds Oliver on the move. He can't grab the ball. And it was all a little frantic and out of control for the Kings. Isaac White. Would have been a big bucket. Handy rebound from the 220-centimetre giant, Rocco Zikarsky. And there's another giant, Torrey Smith-Milner.
Big minutes here. Bench guys really doing a great job. Bateman's in there as well, but these boys getting them out by 9.
So their biggest lead of the game again, Brisbane, 9 points. Kwatnoi. Leo Pepe, the rebound and the putback. Crucial, vital second half points, second chance points.
Well, Sydney only have scored 18 in this quarter compared to 20 or so for Brisbane. And this final possession is key as Sydney try and hang on.
And part of that, Jalen Adams had 17 to the half. He's only added 4 in this third quarter. Isaac White again. Hits the rim, nothing else. But it's been another rock-solid quarter from Brisbane. They won the second 29-23. They lead it heading into the fourth, 73-66. They're shooting for 4 straight wins for only the 3rd time since they returned to the league in 2016. But there's 1 quarter to play, and we'll bring it to you right after this.
A big fourth coming up here at Kudos Bank Arena with the Bullets taking a 6-point lead into the final quarter. As for the Kings, Brian Goorjian told his team they will need to fight for the entire game. What have they got left in the tank? Matt Russell, over to you.
Good on you, Joe. Thank you. They've got to deal with that man. Casey Prather, 10 points first quarter, 9 in the second, 7 in the third. He leads all scorers with 26 and is in a mood.
He certainly is, and we know the Kings are without two of their top perimeter defenders, but right now, they've got to get their offensive structure going, and Tyrell Harrison makes his impact felt right away as he gets back into the game. Matty, Bullets up by 9, trending well.
Harrison, 12 points for the game. Fighting for the rebound here and leaving it for Smith-Milner. So Emmett Nah trying to improve to 5-1 since they languished at 3-6.
And Brisbane Sydney have been let off the hook 3 times with Isaac White's misses.
Buried by Kelly Leopepe, who has shown his ability from range.
Well, that's their 8th-3 of the game, 8 of 26 at the moment, but the story is 13 of 25 for Brisbane from the three-point line with Casey Prather, 5 of 6.
Smith-Milner nearly added another one. Xavier Cooks finds his point guard, Jalen Adams. Forced a foul on, is it Smith-Milner, or was it called off the ball?
Number 18, line up. 2 shots.
It's called on Smith-Milner, his 3rd of the game.
Isaac White subbing out, had a couple of good looks in the corner there. And that's ones he normally knocks down as well. So,
well, he went 2 for 2 the other night. He hasn't really achieved the level of shooting proficiency that we would have expected by now. And I'm sure he would have loved to back up that shooting performance to finally kind of get some rhythm shooting the basketball. But let's speak honestly here. Sydney's offensive structure is inferior to Brisbane's. Brisbane moves the ball. They're patient. They get much better looks at the basket in their attempts to score the basketball.
I agree, Derek, and I feel sometimes Brisbane will go to look for a pass for their teammates. Sydney's going for themselves.
Keandre Cook just drove the lane and encountered plenty of bodies. And the crowd likes that call.
Except for that play. That's not what Brisbane have been doing. Getting 2 feet in the paint, then kick.
Well, they're 53% from the field, 48 from the 3, and 86 from the line. Just spectacular shooting splits on the road.
Yeah.
7-7 record, including 3 road wins for Brisbane already. Another foul against the Bullets. So Adams to go back to the line.
Well, here comes Casey Prather. You do wonder whether they just wanted an extra couple of minutes, Derek, to get him back in the game, but now their 3 imports are back on.
And this is the progress in Justin Schuler as a coach. Last season, he probably doesn't make this move. He's waiting a little bit just to see. Now he's learned. There's no waiting to see.
Yep.
You have to act now in this league because everyone is so close and every game means so much.
Well, there's no doubt this is their best 5, and not just today. I'm talking, you spoke about it at pre-game, the big 4. You've then got the defensive presence of Mitch Norton. This is a very, very good Brisbane team right now.
Justin Schuler in his 2nd season of head coaching, so 40-odd games against Brian Goorjian in his 25th NBL season. Game 820 today for the Gorge, as Adams makes his coach just feel a little better. Still a long way to go in this game at 75-73 to the visitors. The Kings with a 9-7 record. They are 3-2 at home. So much home basketball for the Kings to come. Harrison stripped of the ball by Xavier Cooks. Adams thought about pulling up. Instead, it's Sean Bruce in the corner. It's a big bang from Bruce. And And Sydney are back in front.
Well, he's the spiritual and emotional leader of that Sydney Kings bench. Bruce comes up big with a corner three in transition. Kings by 1.
7:44 to play. The Kings 76, the Bullets 75. And Brad, a bit more of that is good on a couple of fronts. It helps the scoreboard, but also it invites this crowd of 11,000 plus into the contest.
Well, they've been sitting here waiting for it. What I liked is Xavier Cooks there stayed one-on-one with the defense. They didn't have to go and double and look to rotate. He then got the stop, and it was Jalen Adams pushing the ball, kicked it straight to our man, Sean Bruce, who kicks it, knocks it down the corner, and let the Brisbane Bullets bench know about it, as he normally does.
Hasn't he had some big moments in his 6 seasons as a Sydney King? Sean Bruce, 13 seasons of NBL, starting way back at Cairns, did at Brisbane, in fact, Adelaide, and now he's become a favourite at the Kings.
And we know that the Bullets don't really rely on bench scoring as a part of their success. And today is no different, with Sydney outscoring them heavily on bench points, 30-12.
The Amy replay will show you a big play. Firstly, the strip. Tyrell Harrison frustrated, and then Sean Bruce just lurking in a corner and delivering.
And Derek talks about the bench points. Sydney Kings have the most bench points in the league at 37.6, and that is 3 of them right there.
Delay of game warning on Sydney, coming a little late out of that timeout. But if there's more of that from Jalen Adams, it's inconsequential. Sydney by a point. Does this man win it for the Kings? Adams a little quiet in the third quarter. He has 25 points for the game, and he can't add to it here. 8 of 13 shooting, including 3 of 5 from outside. The rebound affected by Leo Pepe and gathered by Cooks. So Sydney come up with a stop. Shot clock to 5 now. Adams left alone. Jalen Adams took a big risk there. The Bullets. Wat Noi gets it back. Sean Bruce again. That would have lifted the roof.
The Kings have done a good job in the second half in limiting James Bateman's looks. He's only got 2 points.
Back cut. What?
Now Norton exploring baseline. And still no easy score for Brisbane in this fourth quarter. Can Sydney cash in though, as Xavier Cooks goes outside Leo Pepe onto Adams. Again, the shot clock to single figures. Wat Noi holds his nerve, makes the 2, draws the foul and will go to the line. It's the Kings by 3.
Well, I'm watching both teams here, and for each team, and this is a nice move by Wat Noi here, and he gets the and 1, but for each team to be able to say, I don't want to be in 3rd or 4th spot, I want to be finished in 1st and 2nd, they need to look back on those last few possessions. Some wild threes, some one-out basketball, and some not great defensive structure. Now, you talk to teams, look at Illawarra. I know Melbourne have lost a few at the moment. Adelaide, when they're humming. Perth, the way they're playing. The ball gets movement, and everyone's seeing it. It's a little bit one out. Yes, that was a good move by Wat Noi. Got to get back to what they did in the first half, where the ball gets movement.
The Sydney Kings want a timeout. The next 6 minutes will decide whether they wake up tomorrow in 3rd on the Hungry Jacks NBL ladder or in 5th. That's the slide they face if beaten here. The Bullets have spent the majority of the game in front, but how do they close it out, Derek, the Bullets?
Well, right now, Sydney have done a great job on the offensive glass in this second half. They've now got 8, and they've taken control of the rebounding contest.
Let's have a look at the Mitsubishi threes leaderboard. And you can see that James Bateman is on there with 43. But as you mentioned, Derek, today 17 points, 5 of 9. So he's added 5 to the tally to be hunting Bryce Cotton, Tyler Harvey, and of course Chris Golding, who was missing earlier today for Melbourne, leads the way. Here are the highlights of James Bateman today.
Well, he's getting good looks, Brad, and especially in that first half, he got himself cooking. And he's got to find a way now, though, to impact the basketball game. He's been limited in this second half, but clearly he has established himself as the leading three-point shooter in the competition when you combine his volume with his efficiency.
Let's get over to Joe Healy, who was listening in to Justin Schuller in that timeout, Joe.
I was pretty positive from the Bullets huddle. Justin Schuller just said, guys, we haven't taken a bad shot. Keep using the screens, penetrate the key, play downhill, create opportunities from that. Defensively, he said communication is key. We've got to trust each other. No second chances.
Thank you, Joe, with 5:40 left. Kings by 4. There's the breakdown with the Kings winning this fourth quarter 13-2 to this point. After a low-scoring third, they were scoring at will in the first half at times, as was Jalen Adams.
And it's all been as a result of their defense, Brad. Yep. We saw they've only given up 2 points. Brisbane have gone tight. They've gone a bit stagnant. And that structure that was going so well for 2.5 quarters isn't quite there anymore.
Well, look where they're catching the ball. Way outside the three-point line. This will be a tough shot.
Too tough for Casey Prather. There was a hand in there, I think, from Xavier Cooks. A handy break indeed for Sydney. Their biggest lead of the game is 6. They have it now, again. Having led 33-27. They're out 81-75. Keandre Cook still can't get that shot to go. He's 2 of 10 now. 5 points for the game, 1 of 6 from outside. Cook's guarded by Prather.
Wow.
2 elite athletes there.
No score. 10 black.
Oh, a little win for Brisbane.
Well, the last few possessions by the Kings, I didn't mind because they moved Adams off the ball and had Sean Bruce bring it up, and the ball got movement.
Yes.
And I felt Lepepe should have taken that 3 there because he threw it back to Cooks with like 6 seconds and not much going on.
It's been loud.
And Brisbane come back
This one's bad.
with that lineup, Brad, that you described as their best lineup. With 4 on the clock, you probably won't see many substitutions from here unless they're specifically situational.
Well, Joe mentioned it in that timeout. Schuller was saying they're getting good looks. I agree, they are. They're just not knocking them down like they were in the first half.
Still, don't dismiss them. 4 minutes left. They're first in the league for fourth quarter points, Brisbane. 28 per game. They've won the fourth quarter in their last 6 games, and Tyrell Harrison said, we want to win the last today as well.
Well, that's what they've got to go back to. They're not doubling now. They're letting it play one-on-one, and really, he's unstoppable if they let him play.
It's tight and tense to finish round 12. Hungry Jacks NBL. Adams, guarded by Norton. And Xavier Cooks hurls the ball into Keandre Cook. Trying to make sure that the Kings would keep possession.
Mate, sorry, I've had to change it again. Sorry.
Right now, straight into Harrison. Wait for the double if it is. Kick, get that wide open look. But if they don't double, he's got Portnoy on him at the moment. That is the big mismatch.
Tyrell Harrison was looking for Norton, but good defense from Sydney. The Kings have applied the clamps in this fourth quarter, impressively. Kwatnoi! It looked good for a long way.
Derek, I want to get your thoughts here, and I'm saying get the ball into Harrison. The one thing I don't like, and here's a timeout by Brisbane, don't just roll it in. Get it from one side to the next, and then get him cutting into the block so it's not so obvious.
I agree. You got to take a minute, make a mini advantage first, and then let Tyrell go to work when he catches it.
What a Brisbane building this season, regardless of what happens here. Have come back impressively from a 3-6 start to the season under the guidance of their head coach, Justin Schuller. Here he is.
Side's on a pin right now. Ty, you're on that side, set it to there. Case, you're the one. Dre, I want you to come, pin in. Casey, you're on the pop back. All right, now we let that thing play from there. You see it, you fucking shoot it. Keep your space and shape, and we're in good opportunity from that. That's first one out. After that, keep letting the ball breathe to get to where we want to go. We're in downs, 4-man downs on it. Defensively, you got Cooks. We're switching 1 through 4. On the stop. 1, 2, 3.
Little impact word in there with the Brisbane Bullets told that if they see it, shoot it, Derek. Shoot the ball.
And right now, they've gone on a cold patch, so I'm sure Coach Justin Schuller is hoping that trend reverts in these final 3 minutes, and they can knock down some big threes.
No, I love it. I think they need to keep doing it. That's what's been getting them wins over the past few weeks. It's no use being shy now. If it's there, launch it.
Norton to Prather for 3. He didn't hesitate as per his coach's instructions, but came away empty. Maybe second time lucky for Casey. He gives it up for Norton. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Keandre Cook, it has not been his shooting day. As a result, Norton under immense pressure, and the shot clock beats the Bullets.
They had a mismatch with Harrison. They were unable to find the passing angle to get that ball inside to him, and Xavier Cooks and Mitch Norton slow to rise up.
There are our Reebok influencer seat participants for this game. Online comedian Tom Ford. Great to see you here, Tom, and reality star Al Perkins. Maths, Love Island, all of your favourites listed there, Brad Rosen. The influencer seats keenly sought after at the Kings games.
Do have to mention here Xavier Cooks. I know he hasn't probably shot the ball well from the free throw line, but he has not stopped today. Just under 32 minutes, 21 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. The guy just accumulates numbers.
And a big plus 12. He and Lepepe are leading in that category. Lepepe plus 18. He's been really effective today in only 17 minutes of play.
Let's go, Sydney. Let's go.
81-77. 2 minutes 20 left. Kings with the ball. Adams is their leading scorer. Xavier Cooks. And one to come. Right in front of the owners. He celebrates a big bucket. 83-77, and he's off to the line.
And Tyrell Harrison gets caught out there on the island. Has 4 fouls. After that play, his afternoon is over. That's number 5 on him. Huge play by Xavier Cooks to put this Kings team right in the driver's seat.
He's had a tough day at the free throw line, Xavier. Stadium hushes. Cooks misses, and it's Brisbane's ball.
I think this is going to be reversed immediately.
It's Sydney's ball. You're right, Derek. Senior referee Vaughan Maybury stepping in.
And Brisbane have just been stymied by the Kings defense, and Adams.
Cooks got there first, knocked it up for Bruce. A bit more desperate there, Xavier Cooks. Brisbane trying to defend for their lives. Another rebound offensively for Cooks.
Wow, Xavier Cooks carrying this team on his back.
Two of the top three offensive rebounders in this game, Harrison and Cooks. And that was a big one for the man they call X.
Well, that's 17-4 so far this quarter, if my numbers are correct. Going to the line for two more. Brisbane dried up in this quarter.
They scored 25 in the first quarter, Brisbane, 29 in the second. They were scoring up around 60% from the field and three-point line. But in the third quarter, they were kept to 19, and you're right, it's 17-4 in the fourth, Derek.
Well, often we talk about outstanding offensive teams catching fire and finding their rhythm. Well, the same thing can happen with great defensive teams, which the Sydney Kings are. They lead the NBL in defense, and it's taken them until this second half to figure out how to stifle this Brisbane Bullets lineup, and they've more than stifled it. 4 points in 8 minutes and 19 seconds to play in this fourth quarter is amazing.
Well, it's a great point you make. 54 they scored in the first half, and when you look at this right now, 23 in the second. Brilliant.
I'll go back to Xavier Cook's offensive rebound real quickly. It's one of the reasons they lead the league for O boards. Xavier Cook's presence, Bateman scrambling, skidding and not scoring. It's Sydney with more possession. Bucket here will make it really hard for Brisbane if it isn't already. The Kings, they were paddling at times in this game, but now they're out by 10.
I would have fouled right there. Put Xavier to the line, go to the hoop, he's much stronger.
The tip in, delivered by Prather.
Well, as soon as Cooks gets it,
yep,
you've got to go commit the foul, send him to the line.
Now they find Cooks, who gets rid of it quickly. Alex Tui left all alone. He had a great look and a miss. Got to score quickly, Brisbane. Bateman runs the lane, draws the foul. That's a good result for the Bullets. They stop the clock.
Stop the clock, allow the Bullets to assemble with Coach Justin Schuler and decide what they want to do next with 42 on the clock. It's not over, Brad.
No, it's not over. Well, I'm sure the Kings won't walk the ball up and get that 8 seconds in the backcourt like we saw them do a few weeks ago, but that'll be Brisbane's ploy to start with. Try and get that 8 seconds backcourt. If not, then yeah, you've got to look to get the ball and foul.
Keep in mind, the Kings do have 2 timeouts. Depending on what happens here with these free throws, you may want to blow one, but Coach Brian Gorgian will sub Xavier Cooks out, and Cooks looked at us like, why me? Could it be the free throw shooting while I'm getting subbed out?
Does the coach soften it and just say, just take a breather, mate?
It's quite clear why he's coming out of the game.
There is nothing he can say.
40 seconds to play. Sean Bruce for the Kings.
Crap.
They're out by 6.
Oh, there it is.
And it's offensive foul called on Bruce.
7, elbow.
An elbow, says Vaughan Mabry. A big moment here.
Now, will they look at this in terms of a potential upgrade, Brad?
Well, I couldn't see it from the angle we were at. Let's have a look here. Oh, that's... I mean, it's a foul, but it's not an upgrade.
It's some incidental swinging fingers.
What's the back taps and all this? He's going to run like... Go!
Now, Bateman...
So he was called an elbow, but it was really just some waving fingers.
Well, it wouldn't be shooting anyway because it's an offensive foul, but that's the Kings' 3rd for the quarter. Bullets have 5, so...
All right, let's go, move on. Let's go, front court.
Sort of a side hand, not necessarily a backhand, but it wasn't like he was trying to intentionally strike him, but the contact occurred nevertheless. Now, Brisbane can attack here and go after a quick 2.
What do? Do they take the high percentage or look for a three? Bateman drives the lane, kicks it out, and Kawat is in the way. They force the turnover. Tui pulls up. Xavier Cook's back out there. Shot clock, 8 seconds inside the game clock. Noi. They make some noise at Kudos Bank Arena. Kawat is all smiles. The Kings are all smiles. And Brian Goorjian is already celebrating.
Well, you look at Kawat, he's happy. But Derek, what were Brisbane doing? You have to foul in that position even more so when Xavier Cooks grabs the ball.
That's the bucket to bury Brisbane.
It certainly is, and Quad Noi was 1 of 10 before letting that one go, but I agree with you, Brad. What is the deal, and why bother calling a timeout now? You just wasted 15 seconds and letting the Kings do their thing before that 3-ball, but Xavier Cooks has been the man. 25 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and just big-time plays when the Kings have needed it most. This is why he is one of the most important and impactful players in the competition. A low-maintenance, selfless, hard-working superstar.
It's his 8th double-double of the season, fellas. He's only 2 behind the league-leading Jack White.
Well, this is the Xavier Cooks that was the MVP 2 years ago. Love what he's been able to bring them. And Derek, I think it's the plays that don't show up that was great today. He's told the team slow down, getting touches, really distributing well on the offensive end.
And a great team response from the Sydney Kings, Matty. They were challenged in that third quarter. This game easily could have gotten away with them, and they responded.
They were in a hole. They were struggling.
And Brisbane was shooting the ball well, full of momentum, and the Kings have come up big here at home in the fourth quarter.
We were talking about what a big win it was going to be for Brisbane as they put up the prayer unsuccessfully, but instead the Sydney Kings are going to come from behind with a big fourth quarter on the back of more brilliance from Jalen Adams to win it 93-81. They've got a pep in their step, the home side. The owners are happy. The Kings go to 10-7 to 4-2 at home. With so much home basketball to come, that is a big, big comeback result.
And Matty, you wrapped it up well. The fact that they've had 10 away games, they're sitting in third spot, they were able to get this win, and you looked at our footlocker player of the game. He was outstanding, and what a great win by the Sydney Kings. But it's the defense in the second half, Derek. That was brilliant.
It's the defense, and Brad, we just felt an emotional surge through the building on the back of that Jalen Adams 3-ball to finish the game. This is a game that could drive the Kings up the ladder and to performances to the level that everyone anticipated in the preseason.
The Kings are in New Zealand Friday night. Then they have 6 of 7 games here.
Well, the New Zealand game really is a must for them. That's what they want to get so they can come home now and get those wins. But look, take nothing away from them. I do want to say to Brisbane, the one thing that has worried me about Brisbane, Derek, is they have been shooting at such a high clip. If they don't keep that, can they win games? And today we saw that in the second half. They had good looks, they just didn't drop.
Well, it dried up in the fourth quarter. They were only able to score 8 points, and that type of performance will not get it done on the road.
This game was indicative of their season. They had their struggles, yet they got it done. They've been criticised for much of the first half of the season, yet here they are at 10-7 with a 4-2 record at home with such a kind draw ahead of them. Joe, you'd imagine there's lots and lots of optimism within the Kings camp. Over to you, Joe.
I've got Xavier Cooks with me. Xavier, 25, 11 and 5. A huge game from you, a huge game from JA as well. That one has to feel pretty good.
Yeah, it felt great. I mean, the first half, they were making absolutely everything. They're one of the hottest teams in the league right now. And we stuck with the punches throughout the first half and came back in the second half and we played some good basketball.
Big second half, as you say. You guys really put the clamps on. How pleased are you with your defense and especially the effort out there?
Yeah, the first half, we weren't really playing bad defense. There's not enough pressure for how good of shooters they are. So I think the adjustment was huge by Gorge. He lit us up at halftime, as you'd expect, and we bounced back.
Great to have you back here at Kudos. Enjoy this one.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe. Xavier Cook starring as Sydney owned the fourth quarter. They won that decisive final term, 27-8. Sean Bruce playing a role. His family happy. The Kings fans are happy. We're back to Kudos Bank Arena to wrap it up after this.
I love this, man. It is a family affair here. We were just going to talk about it. You and I spent a Christmas together before. We're going to spend another one together right here on Christmas night, 8:30 Tim. How's it feeling playing on Christmas?
It feels good. It's another opportunity. We get to come out for the holidays. Hopefully y'all show up and be loud, and we're going to get a win for y'all.
And man, what about this crowd? It's so great to get home. Final quarter in particular, you guys had to feed off that.
Yeah, for sure. Brisbane's a good team, and they fought. We knew coming out it was going to be a good game, and it ended up being a good game. So thanks to the crowd, my teammates, and we got it over the line.
Right here, everybody, put your hands together for J.A. getting it done back here at home. And one more for your Sydney Kings. Get it loud, everybody, one more time.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Eric. How good was that? Ladies and gentlemen, the players will be around for a little while, but head to the brewery bar and kitchen post-game to mingle with the players, enjoy 20% off food and drinks, plus kids eat free with paying adults. The brewery bar and kitchen is located under the Novotel on the Olympic Boulevard, only a short walk. But look, how's that region?
That's good. You can feel it. You can feel it. You can just feel them rolling them in and bringing them back. I'll tell you what, we're stringing wins together at the right time of season.
You're on top again, Eric. Well done.
Let's get after it.
As Eric said, Christmas Day, ladies and gentlemen. Hope to see you. It's a great night. Give the players a huge round of applause as they walk off. See you on Christmas Day.
Well-being isn't just about staying fit, healthy, and injury-free. It also means feeling mentally well. One of the biggest causes of stress for Australians is money, something our banking partner, Beyond Bank, wants to change.
If you want to learn more about managing your money and improving your financial well-being, book a free banking review with Beyond Bank today.
A wild 19-point swing in the final quarter had the Kings jumping for joy at full time. Quatnoy pumped up. Brisbane led by 6 entering the fourth. But at full time, it's the Kings home 93-81. A big result for the home team after so much struggle, it must be said, earlier in the game. Derek Rucker, Brad Rosen.
Well, it's a great performance by the Sydney Kings in the second half, in particular that fourth quarter where they win that quarter 27-8. Really stifled Brisbane from the three-point line where they found so much success. And Brian Goorjian would be ecstatic with that type of defensive output in the second half, leading to that victory.
It's always been about the defense for Goorjian. Today he would be wrapped 54 to give up in the first half. He would have come in there, changed some things and said what he wanted to happen. But today, the Sydney Kings, well, that's the team we expected, Derek. That's the one we thought may get going. And you look at the Mitsubishi ladder, that's where they want to be right now with a very big home run coming.
Yeah, 10-7 with a run of 6 games in 7 outings just around the corner for the Kings. The Bullets go to 7th. Had they won, which they looked like doing for much of the game, they would have been inside the top 4. Casey Prather was good for Brisbane. Who impressed you most for Sydney today, men?
Jalen Adams was just amazing. I thought he did a great job in mixing his injection into the lineup and ensuring others got touches. When they needed him the most, he got it done. And look at round 13 coming at us, Brad.
Brilliant. For me, it was Xavier Cooks, but look at those games next week.
The Kings finish round 12 of Hungry Jack's NBL. They'll open round 13 on Friday, a trip to the Breakers before they spend so much time in Sydney. It's a doubleheader on Friday. The Bullets also in action again against the Taipans. On behalf of Brad Rosen, Derek Rucker, Joe Healy and the entire hard-working team behind the scenes, I'm Matt Russell. It's been great to have you with us. We look forward to your company again when the NBL bursts back into life on Friday.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.